Do you want to know the secrets of true success in life? The achievers of our time are ready through the Great Mind program on NTA Oshogo. They feed to you the secrets of their success in their different vocations. The Great Mind is a program that can help you to formulate the real philosophy of success through the life history and experiences of the great men and women you will continue to be meeting on the program.
My destiny can never be changed at all. Nothing can change my destiny, nothing can change it. Nothing can tamper with my destiny. Good destiny I choose from God.
It's another Saturday morning. It's the time for another edition of that program, The Great Mind. I'm Olayemi. This week, our gist is going to center on an accomplished doctor and a committed man of God, Pastor Kayode Moses Olayemi. Pastor Kayode Moses Olayemi is among those people that was just being honored by the Osun State government. What really made him to be qualified for the award? This is the origin of Olayemi's family in Buddhist compound on your Oduatin local government, where Pastor Moses Kayode Olayemi was born 4 decades ago. A month after his birth, his father and the whole family migrated to Bankamo in Ondo State, where he started his elementary education. He attended St. Paul's Primary School in Iluji between 1969 and 1974. He was introduced into farming immediately after his elementary school, as he was compelled by his father to work in the farm for 1 year before he proceeded to secondary school.
Family of Olayemi. My father's name is Nathaniel Olayemi of Agodi's compound Onyo. My mother's name is Grace Niyoyeladun from Opani's compound Onyo. And I was born at Onyo. 30 days after, I was taken to Ondo State, that is Bamikemi, via Ileluji, where I had my primary school at St. Paul's Anglican Primary School between 1969 and 1974. There and then, at that time, they said so that we'll be able to know how to spend money very well, that we should work on the farm for 1 year. So we did post-primary school NYC in my father's farm. That is between 1974 and 75. Then I moved to Shagam, to Timidiri Secondary Commercial Modern School, Shagam, for 3 years before I moved to Road Grammar School in 1979. And I finished at Road Grammar School in 1982. I could remember June 4th, that was the last day of our exam, because we used to say that whether they like it or not, I will leave for Road Grammar School by June 4th. And as God will have it, JAMB and the wife, they smiled favorably towards me. And by December 14, I was already in UI studying veterinary medicine. By July 1988, I graduated.
So Moses Kayode Olayemi, how's this experience in the school days?
It's not too difficult because my father, people from Onyo, they went to Ghana. And the people from Onyo, they became very literate. The people from Onyo, like for example, even as I'm talking now, if you're a doctor, if you're a professor, there is no area that you will come from, that it will be your discipline, and you'll be a one-man show in Onyo. So, people of Onyo, from Onyo, they know the value of education. So, my father would take even usury, will go and borrow money and do everything to make sure that education is very, very important. It's not now that people from our town that are knowing about education. So, not that there was money, but at least they made it a point of duty that all of us should go to school.
Pastor Moses Kayode Olayemi, who did his national youth service in Sokoto, came to Oshogo through his uncle, Mr. Raji Folonosho, to start his own business with the money he was able to save during the service year. He then rented a shop from where he did most of the consultancy services in the veterinary field. As an innovative and well-trained vet surgeon, he launched into animal feeds production and livestock farming, from where he gained popularity.
I served in Sokoto State at Sokoto City Veterinary Clinic. After then, since my brother, Mr. Folonosho Raji, has moved to Oshogo, so I came to join him and I started my veterinary practice, which I've been doing this up to this present moment. This is the 19th year. So I started what we call Mosodun Veterinary set up. I started it from my NYC savings. And Mosodun, that is my own name is Moses. My wife's name is Odun. So we joined the two together to make Mosodun. That is what it is till today. I've never had the opportunity of using my certificate for anything. I've never presented my certificate for anything. I've not used it to get a job or a contract or anything. In fact, there was never a time that somebody asked me, where is your certificate? I've never used it. I've never touched it for anything.
Mrs. Temilade and Mr. Rajifononsho are the couple that accommodated Pastor Moses Kayode Olayemi for some years while he came to Osogbo to start his life.
He came to Osogbo, he was living with me. In fact, when he was in university, he was living with me. He's a good boy. In fact, I can say that he's somebody that is good to emulate his character. He did very well when he was in school. According to what he has been doing, is what is following him now. You can realize that he has achieved very well in a way that God will be helping him.
Very beautiful and painstaking man. He stayed with us at Ibadan during his university program, when he was undertaking his university program. And in fact, he did not behave as other brother-in-laws would behave. He's ready to serve me. When I wake up in the morning, he might have fetched a drum of water. Even the place we use for food, before getting to the kitchen, to the sink, we find it cleaned up. I wonder the type of brother-in-law he is. And that was exactly what is following him now. The dutifulness that he has, the nature of his hard work is what is following him now. And that was the major reason why he aspired high, and he will still continue to aspire high. As old as he is, he cannot see me carrying bag, even this small bag. Take it from him. He's very respectful, very, very respectful. In fact, I don't know the adjective that I can use to qualify him.
Pastor Moses Kayode Olayemi, who is now the managing director of Mosodun Feed Me, got married in 1991 to his beautiful wife, Odola Alice.
The point is, when somebody is very, very active, like for example, I'm very restless. In fact, I used to ask people that anytime there is a public holiday, I used to ask people, how would those that are government workers, how would they feel if they will not go to a place of work for a whole day? In fact, I'm so restless. In fact, it was as a result of my restlessness that made me to meet my wife. At that time at Bamikemo, during the early days, we would go to the farm. By the time we finish the farm of my father, then we'll be looking for those that are maybe the uncle to my father will be to go and work on their own farm when we have finished our own. And our own uncle that she used to come to see at that time, any cola that they cannot harvest because of a driver hunt and all these other ants, I would just go there. It was there that she knew me.
Mrs. Odola Alice Olayemi asked you to say about her marriage to Pastor Moses Kayode Olayemi.
I met him in 1984 at Bamikemo in Oluji area, Ondo State. And we courted for 7 years. That is between the time we met, 1984 and 1991. So we wedded in 91, and since then, by the grace of God, in fact, the first thing I want to say concerning the life of this man is that he's a godly husband by the grace of God. If he has God, he loves God, and he serves him. And the most important area of his life concerning spiritual matter is that he loves paying of his tithes. He makes sure that he pays his tithes regularly, and even in offering to God. So he gives to God, he gives to humanity, and God has been so faithful to him. He has been blessing him tremendously. That is in the first place. Secondly, he's a man that loves his family. He's a loving man, he's a caring man. He loves the wife, he loves the children. At the same time, he used to give to the needy. In fact, he is a giver by the grace of God. And just as I said at that time, that because of this, God has been blessing him tremendously.
Pastor Moses Kayode has contributed immensely to the growth of the economy of Osun State in different dimensions, such as the provision of employment, in which overtime provided employment for more than 300 individuals, with about 30 directly employed at a particular point in time.
At Bamikemo, there was one man, an uncle to my father. The name is Paomito. They used to call him Baba Onyo. So he will come to my father's house, he will say it in Yoruba, Nata. He said, really that's it, so that has been in the mindset of my dad, that there is none of us that is working with government. So immediately when I got to the Soshikutu State for service here, while my mate will be taking Coke and be taking Fanta and be eating burger and so on. So the little allowance that they were giving us, I made the savings. It was from the NYC savings that I started the business. Although it was rough at the beginning, but to God be the glory. You know, after a long, success is a function of persistence. After some failures, some mistakes, then you begin to gather yourself and you get to your destination. So it has always been at the back of my mind. I never sought for any job. Not a question of whether there will be a job or not. Like I said the other time, in fact, I don't have CV. So I just believe that based on what that Baba used to say, that if you work on your own, you are better off. And of course, there is nobody that is as good to serve as yourself. Since when you are serving yourself, you now deal directly to God. There is nobody that is entering you. 300. I was the first person. So I came first by October 1989. By December, she joined me as the first clerk and my fiancé. Then later on, we started having a clerk, then 2, then 3, to what it is today. I remember at that time, anytime the clerk did not come, she would be the clerk and the wife and do everything. So it's been so wonderful. We have employed up to 300 to date. More than 300. At least let us put it at an average of 300 or more.
He has also emulated the federal government's empowerment program FIP by granting a completely interest-free loan to the less privileged. The program known as Mosodun Economic Enhancement Fund, IF. He is also committed to the youth development, as he has helped many young people to actualize their academic dreams through a scholarship program from which many have benefited. Through all this and other exemplary display of leadership and commitment to the growth of Osun State in different phases of life, Pastor Moses Kayode has been honored with various awards, which include Award of Excellence as a Practicing Farmer and the Patron of the Union by the Agricultural and Allied Workers Union of Nigeria, Humanitarian Service Award presented to him on his efforts in educational development by the National Association of Nigerian Students NAS in 2007. Soulmate Award presented to him by Home Affairs Maxine. In recognition of his immense contribution to the economy of Osun State, Pastor Moses Kayode is among the 30 recipients of the State Government Award of Excellence for the year 2007. Pastor Moses Kayode has this motivation that propels him to strive for excellence.
I always have it that of all the abilities, the greatest is to be responsible. By the special grace of God, I've made up my mind that I'm going to be a responsible person in life. And I could remember when I was leaving Shagamu, that is Temidire Secondary Commercial Modern School, and I was going to Oro, I remember something that I read from one book. They said, where there is a will, there is a way. I always believe that things will work out well for me, and that is how God has been allowing me. I always want to be positive in whatever thing. So I look at opportunities, I look at things getting better. So it has not been very easy, but it has not been bad at all. God has been so faithful and so good. And one of the advantages that I had in life was that I moved with Christian leaders like Pastor Biola Adeniran of Deeper Life. He really taught us when we were very young. After the graduation, I joined Redeem, and it has been so wonderful.
Pastor Moses Kayode is a man of God ordained by E. Adeboye of the Redeemed Christian Church of God in 1998. He is now the founder and general overseer of Gospel Fulfillment Ministries. He's an accomplished businessman and a strong man of God.
Additionally, at Bamikemo, we were attending Jehovah Witness organization church. I used to call it Onya type because it's not the traditional Jehovah Witness that distribute tract. There is a special Jehovah Witness in Onyo. Onyo is the world headquarters. So, but when I got to Shagam, I was living with my uncle then, who was a Muslim, so I didn't go to church. But on getting to Uru, for 3 years, I didn't go to any church because there was no Jehovah Witness Onyo type at Shagam then. So, but when I got to Uru Grammar School, I had a friend who was attending Catholic church. I started going Catholic church, but as at that time, there was this politics in 1979 and so on. So politics seems to enter into the church. So I joined ECWA. But I discovered that I was still not satisfied. So immediately I got to UI, I gave my life to Christ, and I joined the Student Christian Movement of Nigeria. So later on, I was looking to which church to attend. So, and I met Pastor Biladino of the present Deeper Life. He was the general overseer of Maranatha Church that time. So I joined the church. But along the line, the church matched with Deeper Life. When Pastor Biladino joined Deeper Life, I said, okay, let me join Maranatha, let me join Redeem. And that was why I found myself in Redeem. I was not invited, I went myself. And though there was a vision that I'm going to, by the grace of God, produce a reference Bible in future. And that, but when I joined Redeem, I forgot about the vision. But eventually, God revived the vision, and that was why we started the Gospel Fulfillment Ministry, which God is using us to make some impacts up to this present moment.
How do business associates and other men of God view him?
But see, it's someone I've known for more than 10 years, brilliant. Is that Nigeria who is putting food on other people's table. And that's what I appreciate most. Everywhere you go in this country, you take the newspapers, you read people who scream, criticize government, and who don't employ anyone. They don't have people to pay. But for this man, over the years, he has employed several people. A lot of undergraduates have had to pass through him, and it was the few money they were able to make while working for him and with him that is helping them to go through school now. And I see that to be the greatest thing I admire about him, because I'm also looking forward to becoming an entrepreneur. So I admire that so much in him. Then the other side of it is when it comes to the gospel. For him, there's no amount that is too much to put into the gospel. He puts a lot of money in the gospel. The denomination where it used to be, he personally bought land and built churches, and he's done so much in that place. And even right now that he is a senior pastor of the church, there's a lot he's putting into gospel. So I believe that if he's doing so well concerning the kingdom of God, and is also helping humanity, I think he's getting it right. It's just my prayer that he'll be able to continue in that light. And I think this is one of the things that someone who chose not to even reveal his name had to submit his name to the State Merit Award. And surprisingly, he saw himself as one of the 30 indigenes that were being honored by the state government. So he is someone I really believe that is contributing to the economy of the state, and not only that, also contributing to the kingdom of God. And to a large extent, he is an embodiment of love.
Pastor Mosodun jẹ́ inú òtútù olùfọkànlẹ̀ ẹni tó ṣe gbẹ́kẹ̀lé nítorí ó ti jẹ́ olùrànlọ́wọ́ fún èyí bí ẹnìkan tó pé àjọṣe rẹ̀ ó dùn mọ́ ní ọgbọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀. Wọ́n fẹ́ lè sọ pé àjọṣe rẹ̀ inú tí mo jẹ lónìí èkó ó ràn lọ́wọ́ púpọ̀. Lẹ́yìn pé ó ti gbé ìrànlọ́wọ́ kan bàtàbàtà wá tó jẹ́ pé bí ìgbà tí wọ́n nà tó sọ̀kalẹ̀ láti wà olùwọ̀ kà sí pé ó ló ń kàn wọ́n náà síbi ní olùrànlọ́wọ́ olùrànlọ́wọ́ lójú púpọ̀ mo sì dúpẹ́ lọ́dún lọ́wọ́ títí di àsìkò yìí. So ó ṣe ọmọlúwàbí fún èyí púpọ̀ tẹ́ pé mo lè ròyìn rẹ̀ ká gbogbo àgbáyé ni. Ó lọ tí wọ́n kọ́kọ́ mọ̀ bí ẹni tí òun náà tó wá farahàn pé oṣù oúnjẹ adìẹ láti ìgbà tí mo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí wọn oúnjẹ adìẹ lọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀ wọn náà ń lọ púpọ̀ nínú ìwé tí mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé ó ṣe gùdùgbẹ̀ ẹ̀nàjọ́ mẹ́ta pé tí mo rò pé ẹnikẹ́ni tó lè ṣe rẹ̀ mọ́ àfi tí ìbá tó lè jọ ilẹ̀ ọlọ́run bákan náà Bí ìgbà tí wọ́n nà bọ́ọ̀lù látòkè wọn, àwọn ọmọ iṣẹ́ kánsà káàkiri ló jẹ́ fún mi.
He was my vet doctor for quite a long time. Highly resourceful, very hardworking, and highly unassuming person. This is a boy, let me call him a boy, because he has always seen me like a father when he was working for us, taking care of our beds. And he did a lot, because this is somebody who will work not minding what will be the cost. He doesn't even care. He works all the time as if he's doing it for himself. So I have no doubt in my mind when I see him becoming a very successful person, because I knew he is such a person that will actually make greatness in his life. He is very resourceful, hardworking, and very, very honest, straightforward. Well, being a pastor now, I'm not surprised about that, because this is somebody that is God-fearing, very, very God-fearing, and straightforward. And when you talk in terms of somebody who loves his neighbor, Dr. Olayemi is one of those persons. I have known him for quite a long time.
Pastor Moses Kayode Olayemi has this plan for the future.
We see a brighter future. I know that things will be so wonderful. I know that my tomorrow, since it is in the hand of God, I believe that the reason why I'm alive is because there is a future that lies ahead of me. I strongly see good things coming my way. I see my children and my family getting to realize their ambition in life. I see every human assault against my life falling like kind of packs of cards. And I see, in fact, personally, I don't like people that move near me. I don't see things working negative. I believe that things will be getting better. And that is, it has always been, from the NYC savings to what it is today. It has been getting better. Although I don't want rush, instant blessing. I prefer something that is going little by little. Maybe because my name is Moses. Because God told Moses, he said, the enemies that surround you, he will not destroy them one day. He said, little by little. I know that little by little, I will be moving higher, things will be getting better. In fact, personally, I don't want something that will be in a rush. I don't want a blessing that will be rushed. I don't pay offering when they are giving testimony of somebody that receives instant miracle at a time. No, I don't want to key my destiny into that. I want little by little, little by little, little by little. And because before you know it, if you had 1 + 2 to 3 to 7 to 10 to 15, before you know it, you will reach more than 200. Instead from you to start from 1 and all of the same, you find yourself in 50.
He has this advice for all.
Decide to be responsible. Of all the abilities in life, the greatest is to be responsible. I used to tell people that you are not to center your life, even as a man, into pleasing your wife, because you can never do that. But you can decide to be a responsible husband, so that when the wife is looking at you, when your parents, they are looking at you, when your peers are looking at you, they will say, no matter what you will say concerning this man, he is a responsible person. And if you are responsible, there is no limit, there is no level that you cannot reach in life. So my advice for everybody is that people should be responsible. But why don't you ask? People are too irresponsible. Many men are too irresponsible. Many wives are too irresponsible. In fact, I used to tell people that, thank God that my wife is responsible. People will have been saying that, thank God he married a pastor, and so on and so forth. She's enjoyed in our house because she's responsible. If she were not responsible, she would have been living in hell. I cannot tolerate irresponsible character, irresponsible people, irresponsible children, irresponsible wives or husband, or irresponsible worker. I want people to be responsible. Like I said, my principle is, of all abilities, the greatest is responsibility.
That has brought us to the end of this week's edition of the program, The Great Mind. Join me next week for another edition of the program, and have a wonderful weekend.